Hi and welcome. I am your host of the River District podcast, Viveca Gravel, Community Development Coordinator for the River District and the City of Owen Sound. And I'm here with my friend Jennifer Miller of the Reach Center. She is the Executive Director. And we're here to have a little bit of a conversation about the Reach Center Grey Bruce today. Jennifer is a wealth of knowledge for everything that has to do with Reach and has been an integral part of making it happen. So hi, Jennifer. How you doing?
Good. Thank you so much for having me. This is really cool. It's my first podcast.
It's
exciting.
Not a bad setup, eh? They've got a really great studio here for us at CTRE. And we're lucky enough to be able to bring in local businesses and community groups and stuff like that and have a little bit of a chat about, what you do and what you're bringing to the River District, what you're bringing to Owen Sound and how you're unique and all those kinds of things. And you definitely fall into all of those categories. So, Jennifer, can you tell us a little bit about the Reach Center?
Sure. We are a self-funded charity, which means we get no government funding, that provides programming for youth and adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
Okay. So how does somebody with a developmental disability or their caregivers or whatever get in contact with you to get them into the programming and those kinds of things? How does that all kind of come from A to Z?
So the process is pretty straightforward. There's an online application form, which is on our website, reachcenter.org. You download that, fill it in, send it to me, drop it off at the center, and then we review it, set up an intake assessment, sit down and chat with you. We do a tour and talk about all things Reach, get to know the potential participant a little bit better. And if they're a good fit for the program, we set up a start date. That simple.
That's perfect. That is very accessible for just about anybody to participate in. Now, you have so much. I've been lucky enough to get a tour, and I actually know a couple of the people who participate in Reach from school and all of that kind of stuff. The space is incredible.
Thank you.
It's truly, truly beautiful. Can you tell us a little bit about the building, why that location, what it offers, all those kinds of things?
Sure, yes, absolutely. So it's pretty cool that we have just over 4,000 square feet that's fully accessible right downtown in the River District. So walking distance to everything, the library, local art galleries, coffee shops, all of that, which is very, very cool for our participants for community inclusion. We acquired the space in 2020 and began doing the construction work to retrofit the interior of the space at the height of the pandemic, and worked in shifts and all kinds of fun things to figure that out. It was all done by local volunteers. We opened March 2021 and have been going strong ever since.
Yeah, I mean, in addition to that, if you ever are so lucky to be able to see the space, I know that Jennifer had a particular hand in the design and all of that kind of stuff. I know there's a couple of light fixtures in particular that I would like to bring to my house. It's so beautiful. It's so welcoming. It's airy. It's light. And there's a full, beautiful kitchen in there. So tell me a little bit about that kitchen.
Yeah, the kitchen's pretty epic. It is a commercial kitchen, permanent commercial kitchen. So that's where the nutrition stream is run out of. But we also do a lot of social enterprise initiatives. We have a pop-up bakery that goes to Grey County. We have, throughout the summer, a weekly cafe that's open to the community to come one day per week and enjoy the fruits of their labor. So they work hard making baked goods and learning all of those things, but also labor market transferable skills.
Sure.
Like somebody will be the barista and someone will help with cash, someone will help bus tables. All of those things are great for them to have opportunities for independence.
That's awesome. And then, of course, you have the stunning outdoor space with pergolas and outdoor seating and small gardens and all those kinds of things. Tell us about how that came about and what you're doing with that space.
Yeah, we have a really neat outdoor space, and thanks to the support of Community Foundation's Grey Bruce, we were allowed to expand to include a sensory garden this year with high touch, high fragrance plants, but also an edible garden Everything that's grown in there is done by participants and harvested and used within the nutrition stream, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
We can get participants to eat things like kale.
Sure. I mean, that's hard for anybody to start eating.
So that's kind of fun. But there's a basketball court out there. We have family barbecues. They do yoga out there. It's a pretty neat space, and it's all done with cement so that an electric wheelchair can also sort of boogie around out there and come in and out and do their own thing.
Absolutely. And you have one heck of a mural at the back there as well,
We
done
do.
by one of the local artists. Tell me about that.
Yes, Billy Goodcat did that mural, which is super cool, and the participants helped, and that was done with support of OPG, which is pretty neat.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, the center really is, we call it the Miracle on 8th Street because it's a testament to how awesome this community is.
Yeah.
And how so many different groups stepped up to help make it happen for families, which is really, really a joy to be part of, frankly.
Absolutely. When I was lucky enough to head over and get a tour and meet with Jennifer and just kind of see the space, programming was underway, and I got to see everybody participating in these, classes and programs and all that kind of stuff. And honestly, they all looked so fun. There were people doing art. People were dancing. They were in the dance studio or the exercise studio that you have. Some were in the kitchen. They were making brownies. They did not share. They weren't done yet, but whatever. And yeah, you guys were busy. You split off into smaller groups, and do you rotate? Can you tell me a little bit about the programming and what you offer and who teaches and who leads those programs?
Sure, absolutely. So every day is a lot of structure and consistency, which is really important for the continued growth and development and skill acquisition for this population. So the morning they arrive, we do something called Chat and Share, where everyone gets a tea, coffee, sits down and shares whatever sort of exciting business they have to get off their chest so that they can move on with the day.
Nice.
They're broken off into cohorts, so the staff to participant ratio is no more than 6-1.
Okay.
And they get all of the 4 sort of touch points by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So they get an hour of life skills, which focuses on everything from safe social media use to why it's important you don't stink. We do an adaptive version of sign language in there so that nonverbal participants can connect with each other without an intermediary. Lots and lots of stuff goes on, what it means to be a friend, how to be an adult, all of those pieces. They get an hour of fitness and wellness in our fully kitted interactive gym space, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, they have dance parties, I'm not going to lie. They also have Mario Kart competitions at free time.
That's fair.
Yep. But they also do all kinds of circuit training and strength training, and woven through the fabric of that stream is self-regulatory strategies, what it means to set goals and not have immediate gratification, all of those things.
Okay.
They get an hour of that. Then they have lunch. Once a week we have a hot lunch. But otherwise they bring their lunch. Then they get the other 2 blocks, which in this instance would be creative expressions and art, and nutrition and health. So in creative expressions and art, they learn things like emotional intelligence, theory of mind, neuroplasticity, all of those things, self-expression. And in nutrition and health, they learn what constitutes a healthy snack, what's the Canada Food Guide. If a friend's coming over and you have this much money to make dinner, what are you going to make? Let's go get the stuff, prepare it, taste test, all that.
Wow. So really in-depth stuff.
Yeah. And the sort of the overarching pillars of the agency is skill acquisition for independence, and what independence looks like is different for every single participant.
Of course.
Meaningful contribution to community, and friendship. So as long as we can connect the dots to one of those things, then typically we're in to give it a shot. So at 2 o'clock, once they've got all 4 of those sort of touch points, then we do something different every day. Sometimes we go to the park and play Frisbee. Sometimes we have, a group come in and do a chat with us, like Canada Mental Health will come in and do a chat on friendship. Or we go out and about. We're going to swim at Harrison Park one day, and, all kinds.
Fun.
Yeah, all kinds
Nice.
of different stuff. And it's really great to sort of, as things reopen, to be able to get back out there doing a lot of these things with the group. And then at 3, they get a healthy snack. Everyone gets a healthy snack every day that they help prepare.
Okay.
And then they write in their agendas, and that's a wrap for the day. And they're usually pretty tired out and pretty spent by the end of the day, but they've had a good day and with their friends, and it's all applied learning, which is pretty neat.
Yeah, it sounds really fulfilling and fun. One thing that you didn't mention was the shop you have there.
We do. We have a learning shop.
So tell us about that. There's been some amazing stuff in there I've seen. And let us know a little bit about that, how those pieces come to be, and how they support the center.
Sure. So everything in our learning shop is made by program participants to support the agency. They work really hard on those things, and they're pretty cool. The shop is mirrored with an online version. There are some in-person exclusives.
Sure.
We try to have new products in all the time and get out and about, and we have different groups that come in to utilize the space in evenings. On weekends you can rent the space because it is a commercial kitchen, and we have craft fairs there and all kinds of stuff, so it's pretty neat.
So if I'm coming in for one of the open cafes that you have, can I shop at the same time?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so great. You touched on it a little bit about other groups, outside groups, renting the space, using the space. I mean, again, if you get a chance, look at this space. It is gorgeous. Between the outdoor and the indoor space and all that, I want it to be my house. I might just move in. But tell us about the rental facilities and how they can be used by the outside group, and ultimately, I assume the rental fees would go to helping to support the agency.
Yeah.
So tell me how we go about booking the rentals.
It's sort of straightforward. You just shoot an email to me, ed@reachcenter.org.
Okay.
And we have a conversation about what you need, what the space can do for you, whether it's a good fit, and if it's available. We have several different community groups that are now using it for their board meetings, for example. Okay. Some with catering. The participants can provide catering if you have a group. Some without.
Oh, we can hire them as caterers.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and they're very, very proud of that. They'll serve. They have a variety of refreshment options that they help make. So it's a pretty neat thing. Okay,
I didn't know about the catering options.
Yeah.
That's definitely, I've learned something new along with everybody else who's watching and listening. No, that's really fantastic. And when I was in there, I also noticed that all of the tables and everything are on casters or wheels so that they can be moved out. So the whole space is kind of modular and is accessible to any kind of thing. I mean, you could have square dancing in there if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah. We throw down like a couple of times a year. We have full on dance parties with disco balls and the whole 9 yards.
That's right. There were plugs in the ceiling so that you could hang your disco balls and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They definitely like to move it.
Yeah, it's really well designed and really just an inclusive and welcoming, wonderful, bright space. And you even have quiet little nooks and things like that should there be some sort of overstimulation or somebody just needs to move. And I mean, that's something that everybody suffers from. Just needing a little bit of a timeout. Can you just really quickly, we're running out of time, give me an overview of how it came to be?
Sure. So it came from need. There was a group of parent leaders. So this population can stay in secondary school for an extended period of time till they're 21. But then after that, they just sort of fall off of social service radar. And a group of parent leaders got together because they didn't want a remote control to be the future of their kid.
Yeah.
They pooled their resources and hired someone. So there was 5 families, founding families. And from there, we're now serving over 50 families in the program. It's been quite a journey to get to this point. There's no shortage of need, without a doubt. We accept 24 participants per day currently, and I'm at a service rate of 96 with a wait list.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but that being said, there's always opportunities to be more efficient or utilize the space more effectively to do more good. So we're looking at different ways to help more people and get people off wait list or do wait list management or those sorts of things. So definitely arise out of need.
And is there anything that the community can do to help, to get involved, to support you in any way? What are you looking for? What do you need?
There's no shortage because, like I said, as a self-funded agency, we have to fundraise for every piece of cheese and paintbrush we have. So major big needs right now is we need to replace our roof, which we didn't anticipate.
Oh no.
Yeah, so that's we're trying to raise the roof and raise some funds to get that done sooner rather than later. But you can sponsor a participant that maybe doesn't have the means to come multiple days that could really benefit. You can sponsor a program. You can support us by volunteering. We love our volunteers. The application form is also on our website, and it's the same process. You print it off, drop it in, come in, we do a tour, we have a chat, share with me what you're passionate about, and we can figure out how to leverage that. We have a fundraiser coming up in October. We have the Reach in the Jar campaign, which we blew out of the water last year, and that arose from the pandemic, a need to just pivot and be malleable. And we came up with this concept, and the participants work really hard putting the jars together and then go out and sell them to their networks, and they make great gifts. So we're rolling that out in the fall. That's one of our big fundraisers, which will hopefully help with the roof.
The roof, yeah, for sure. And then, of course, you do your plant sale as well.
We do our plant sale. We're going to do another initiative, hopefully, for the holidays. They do a lot of work with making different crafts and things for great gifts. So we're going to work on that. There's always stuff. We're always up to something.
All right. So we are out of time, unfortunately, because I'm sure we could continue talking about this forever. But if you could just give me a couple details about how to get a hold of you. You've mentioned it a little bit earlier, but if you can just give me the formal website address, your socials, that kind of stuff, let us know how we can get in touch.
Okay, so the website is just reachcenter.org.
Okay.
You can find us on Facebook at Reach Center Grey Bruce and on Instagram at Reach Center Grey Bruce.
And I highly advise that everybody should follow. Their plant sale is incredible, and their gifts that are all handmade are also incredible, and you're doing really amazing things there, and we're so lucky to have you as part of the River District. As for me, my name is Viveca Gravel, the Community Development Coordinator for the City of Owen Sound, and you've been listening to the River District Podcast. You can always check us out at owensoundriverdistrict.ca and on our socials at RiverDistrictOS. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.